Ribble.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Quincy, why are we Pokemon?
I don't know why, yeah. Either way, very fun draft coming out from both these teams, or at least from one of these teams, right? We have the Gragas Yasuo in separate lanes who don't really interact with each other, and Tiger Buffalo just wants us to have fun, I guess, because they really are giving it to us. That also Wibble being in, aside from BJ, who didn't really have too much fun last game. I would suppose so, because he was getting gapped all game, and now he gets to sit on the bench, and absolutely rightfully so.
I'm really sad, Quincy, that is not the new Yasuo skin, the Ocean Dog Yasuo skin, because I would have loved to have seen that in game, but sadly I don't think it's available yet. So, yeah, I'm aware, Carex. I'm just saying it's sad. You know, it's a nice skin. Instead, we've got Death God Yasuo or whatever it's called.
Now I would usually say what the skin name is, but I don't know. I have no idea. It's like that rivalry skin with Riven. That's what I know. The other thing I don't. If there's anyone else who knows it, please tell. Either way of that, Yasuo against LeBlanc. It's Nightbringer Yasuo. Thank you, Spoots.
Well, will it bring the night to burst the sky?
Just for the record, Carrick also knew the name. He didn't want to shout it in, which I really respect him for. Either way of that, Yasuo not really having the most fun in the laning phase against the LeBlanc early game. Melee versus range, you aren't level 2 yet, and yeah, she can just zone you off the wave, just poke you down with the Sigil of Malice and also the auto attacks coming in. But as soon as he gets some levels, it will stabilize a little bit more, as we just now see. And Glowy gets to have a more even lane against P, who is of course the rookie mid laner coming out from the side of Saigon Buffalo, and has played more than okay in the first game, I would say. So maybe we'll see some fancy Yasuo plays later on. Maybe in the team fight together with Hasmet and the cask throwing in, he will have some decent last breaths. Because other than that, he basically has to rely on his own knockups, which is of course something that is not really favoring him here.
Now, I want to talk a little bit about P as he does, you know, typical Yasuo things, dashing in and out of champions. Because so far, the champions that P has played in the mid lane, this is his second series that he is playing for Saigon Buffalo in his competitive career. We've seen Sylas, we've seen Akali, we've seen Lucian, now we're seeing Yasuo. If this goes to a game 3, what do you think is a 5th champion? Because there's got to be a new unique champion, and it's got to be a skill expressive one as well.
Yone. Give me Yone. Just the other brother. Just 5 high intense skill expression champions. Maybe something like a Z would also be very cool. Not the boss, the ninja. And that would definitely be one champions we would be excited to play for. Not Rakan, which was of course a very fun mid laner to play, but full IP Rakan is sadly not playable anymore. And what I now want to see from these teams is of course the Lefel TMF against the Lefel Desire. Which one of those will reign supreme in the mid game, because both are definitely very strong carries. And P is maybe getting the free-man treatment very early on here.
3-on-1. P needs to make the outplay. The Grand Entrance Elio, what was that? That's not going to land onto anyone. In the end, it's just a drive-by from the side of Sky, and they wanted to gun down the civilian of P, but here's the thing, their guns were jammed.
The guns were jammed, he could just walk out of the Grand Entrance with his dash right there, and P just now yet again showing that he can play the champion really well. And I wonder if it will be a 10-0 or 0-10 Yasuo, because we know there usually isn't much in between those. And of course, I think Mr. Sky want to tilt him a little bit there with those gangs, but if they are played like this, like what does he really have to fear? Like the wave wasn't really properly pushed in, and with no CC landing, you cannot go for that dive at all.
Well, it's still 0 kills to 0. We're still waiting for that first blood to be picked up. So, Quincy, I want to get your thoughts. Where do you think we see that first blood? Actually, we might be getting it in the mid lane. At the real chase, now Ribble shows up to the play, but P is solo. He's going to flash out to safety. Glory could have chased with a flash of his own, but decides against it.
Yeah, I think we see it in the jungle, actually.
Okay, well, Drakthar, he smites on the big chicken for health. The layways, he's burning, he's ticking. Drakthar stays alive. Now, Glory looking to go in. But the wind wall will be able to stop any further aggression.
I'm just sad that nobody dies. It's just a pure chicken. The chicken didn't do anything to you. Just keep it alive. It didn't hurt you. Why are you going for that? And maybe the bot lane is having something against our predictions of the mid lane being the lane to deliver first blood.
Your prediction.
Yeah, my prediction actually. And Ripple? He actually... No.
Oh, Drakthar, he got the smite, he got the grump, he got some health, he needs his sidestep the lay waste. Oh, but in the end, the Defile will murder him.
Yeah, and Ripple will be making a case for himself. Like, just now, Drakthar was absolutely jungle differing his replacement, and now Whipple is going and just doing the same thing to Rakta with getting a first kill as the Kartos against the Viego. How do you even get in this position? But as a Kartos to invade a Viego without being like smart exhaust Kartos, how could you really do that? He just knew that Rakta was still low from the skirmish that happened earlier and just went for the punish there, and Rakta couldn't do anything. He tried to smite the Grom for HP, but it ultimately wasn't enough. I think his best chance is to just go for the fight full on and just try to kill Whipple instantly. You would then trade 1-for-1, which is of course far from ideal, but better than just dropping this one kill over the side of Whipple on the Kartos. It is the first strike Kartos. It hurts quite a lot, especially already in the early game. Not as a Dark Harvest Kartos maybe would do, and luckily for him, he doesn't really get stacks on it, but he really gets a lot of gold out of the passive from the wound.
Now, as you mentioned, it's a first strike Karthus, and Ribble was first to strike. However, I want to talk about Elio, because I've not seen him land a grand entrance, and that's been a bit disappointing as Ryuk, just sitting in the shroud, but has to be so careful here because Hasmid can very easily bop him.
Can very easily, and he used perfect execution to escape defensively. I mean, he already casted the first time of it, so the other one would just run out and he would get the cooldown anyway. But Ryuk struggling in this 1v1 is something that I really do not want to see, because the Akali matchup into Gragas is actually quite doing him a favor, I would say. It's a very good matchup. The Gragas shouldn't have any kill pressure on towards you, and eventually you can just out-sustain him and then just outfight him in these skirmishes. But Hasmid, maybe his ultimate is also on cooldown, so he doesn't really have any window in here. I think he must have used the explosive cast to knock him into the turret. This is why there was a damage discrepancy. And Ryuk maybe just not going for the all-in. Ignite is on.
Oh, Dragthar making his way up. Is that Requiem going to be enough to kill Ryuk? No, it's still just a level 6 Karthus. Hasmid now on the run. The barrel roll will get a slow, but the Spectral Maw locks Hasmid down in place and gives the kill over to Dragthar.
Yeah, nothing Hasmid could do. He was already flashing the 1v1 with his body slam already being down. It's just Spectral Maw into place, wounding into one more auto attack, and he just dies. Viego's output in the damage puppet is already that strong as early on. And with the Sheen being on towards him, it's also like one more Spellblade proc he can deliver to really have the damage on towards Hasmid. And Hasmid was super low already from the 1v1. So easy pickup for them. Requiem, we just now saw, didn't really do that much damage to Ryuk on the Akali. And that Requiem kind of wasted, I would say, because without Dark Harvest, you don't really get those stacks either and don't just infinitely scale. However, Ribble just now defending his red buff works for him, I guess.
Yeah, Ribble will take that. You know, he got first blood on Dragthar. Now he's able to secure his red buff. P and Glory duking it out. The Ignite ticking down, and Glory picks up the kill.
Mid difference is what I say, but other than that, P kind of struggles in this matchup if he doesn't land the Tornado. If he would land it, he would like to get the kill himself, because he could just follow it up with his Ignite, also with the last breath coming out, and then Glory would be the one dying because he would be caught into the C chain. But other than that, it was just him catching P with his chains, so P falling in this one. Full time coming out bot lane, and yeah, almost dying to it.
But thankfully for Ya, he will stay alive. Hasmid now on the run. Surely this is a kill for Ryuk. There's no way for Hasmid to outplay this. Yet flying time. Ryuk is playing with his speed. Oh my god, the 5-point strike doesn't actually land. If Hasmid outplays this, that is going to be the craziest thing I have ever seen in my life. But he won't outplay it because that would have been absolute insanity. Now Shogun is ignited, and Elio in a 1v2, trying to get under his tower, but locked down by the Cosmic Binding, sidestepping on the Make It Rain, but it just means that Shogun can auto him to death.
Speaking of absolute insanity, we see this bot lane play where it was Elio nearly killing them in the 1v2 as a support. His quickness was also available, so I wonder if he could actually just use it as well to just get a 1v2 double kill there. But he didn't really fancy his feet there and didn't want to be too much exposed to the damage coming out for Shogun and Taki. But with exhaust up, with heal up, it probably was the wise choice to not go for that play and just accept his fate and just die. Other than that, small goat coming from Burst the Sky, but with Whipple on the Karthus, he's maybe like the one player that could be, this time, be the shining light on the team of SGB, because they are having a fun one this time. We clearly see it, and this time, of course, it's a bit better than last game, but Ryuk, especially today, really having a good day.
And this is just Ryuk having fun. I've just been informed by our stats team, aka JBs, that apparently this is the 20th unique champion for Taki, and that's across the VCS this year and SEA games. So that's a lot of unique champs.
I feel bad for the graphics department, because they then just need to update the graphic and just get more work in, you know? I mean, they were already doing like, oh my god, so insane, Taki playing 19 different champions. Now they need to change the number and also add another champion portrait to it. The poor guy.
Yeah, I think, you know what we should do, Quincy? We've got a bit of a meeting later on to prepare for playoffs. I think we should definitely demand a graphic of all of Taki's different champions, as Harsmid gets dived in the top lane, and Harsmid will fall.
Yeah, cleanly played out with the Heartbreaker to just reset the turret aggro, so they basically take no damage from that. So you see he's applied to Harsmid, he can't do anything. He threw out his cast, but that was all he could do, and that was also nullified by the mobility coming out both the Viego and the Akali pickup. And meanwhile, P got a solo kill into Glory. The Observer's not keeping back today, but can you really fault them? There's so much happening on this map, cross map overall, and you can't get them all right.
Yeah, I was a bit harsh on them in game 1, but here in game 2, there is just way too much stuff happening to be able to keep your eyes on all at once. Shogun all by themselves in the bottom lane. It's a lonely life for Misfortune. It's a lonely life for any ADC when your support is a bard. Now, I think Elio actually managed to work his way in here without being seen.
Oh.
I don't know if Ya can actually get here and join this play, because right now it's just support versus ADC. And no matter how you look at that, even if it was a Leona, the ADC is going to come out on top.
Yeah, not really anything you can do there. Congratulations, you stuck your way all the way down there, but you don't really do any damage on your own. And with Jan not being in position, you can't just kill Shogun there. Really, the two birds not really being in sync, despite their marriage, is something very surprising to me. Other than that, Viok still having fun against Hasped, but he cannot hit the Shuriken flip, right? It's just Hasped and Shuriken flips apparently. This time he's on the other side of the matchup, but those things just don't land.
Yeah, and this, I'm going to guess, is how Glory died. Oh, sorry, no, Glory got the kill onto P, and
No.
I guess it's just I can't remember who died, to be honest.
This time it was P killing him. The other time it was the other way around, so it's easy to get confused on that one. Other than that, we see in the picture that the T1 turret was taken by the Herald, and yeah, Ryuk is getting another kill onto what the card says. He might just die to the vacuum, but I think he doesn't.
Nope, he will be able to stay alive. Dragthar looking to go in. The Heartbreaker's down, picks up the kill. 2 more going the way of Sky. This isn't as dominant as game 1, Quincy, but it is still a solid lead for Sky 13 minutes into the game.
Definitely so. 2k gold for them. Tier 1 turret taking the top lane, just also giving them a bit more map control. Of course, it will just really matter to just take the next Herald, which is not that as detrimental as it would not get any turret platings, but still, of course, just some nice gold to have in your pockets and some nice map control you want to have. And Drake is not really contested by either team so far, so an early soul win condition isn't on the table for any of those teams. And with that, of course, but with the Sky showing up today and STB really showing that they do not care this much about this game, especially with the substitutions coming in, with P being in, with Ribble being in this time. I mean, Ribble being subbed in is kind of deserved, I would say, after the performance from BJ. But what has Froggy done to them is what I really wonder right now, because I mean, he was playing fine all split and then he just gets subbed out. I think they just want to give P a chance, and he is also playing fine, but the rest of the team seems kind of decent.
And going back to the point that we made about unique champion for Taki, actually every single player for the side of Saigon Buffalo is playing a unique champion this split. They have never played this champion before in the VCS Spring Split of this year.
It might just be them trying to flex it. Meanwhile, in the picture we see the Gragas from Hasped dying again. I was about to say that like maybe they just try Gragas Yasuo this game, and with them being distinct lane, they just maybe don't really care about that fact or just play for teamfights anyway. But you're out getting to teamfights if you just die beforehand, and like this, the first thing that would be a teamfight over if this is Drake right now, but it's just taken by the side of the Sky, and Drax are just immediately getting a kill.
And over the wall goes Dragthar. He steals away the bar. That means he can use a magical journey as well. Ribble is very low. P making his way over the grand entrance. Will land onto the Yasuo to buy some time, but Ribble has a fallen. Is the killer going the way of Dragthar? Heartbreakers over the Gromp wall and out to safety. 2 more kills for Burst the Sky.
And Buffalo's completely collapsing yet again. They just watch Burst the Sky take the Mountain Drake, and then they just try to run out of it and just die to their engage right there. It's very baffling to see. Ribble also burning the vacuum again to get even again no kill out of it. He's just now on the Unvis and the Penwoods, which doesn't even seem that horrible. But on the other side, you have Dragthar being 4-1 and 2 on the Viego, already Divine Thunder completed. He hasn't shopped in a while, I think, so he can also get more items under his belt. I think he's currently going towards his second Rift Herald, and this is also something that Saigon Buffalo cannot really contest on their own. And their mid-game power spike, which is something they like to play out with this composition, is looking horrible. Like, Hasped is 0-5-0 on this Gragas. I just now noticed when I look at the scoreboard.
Maybe it was, maybe he knew that, you know, we're going to be bringing up Harsmed stats for playoffs, and we're going to be saying, look how good Harsmed is, look at his CS differences at 15, and he wanted to bring it down, you know, so he's not as hyped going into his playoff games.
Might be the case, right? I mean, just tank the stats to all the analysts, right? Maybe the analysts of the enemy team as well. Maybe that's just the secret plan to really throw off Hankei later in the finals, if they haven't managed to go this far. We don't know. Either way, we see them dropping that tier 1, that tier 2 turret in the top lane for the bot lane tier 1 turret, which is of course still another unfavorable trade. But right now, of course, they are forced to go for these unfavorable trades, as versus guys just that far ahead of them again. It's almost 4,000 gold. They are ahead, and it's not looking good for them. I really wonder how they will try to get back into this. I think they just need at least like 1 or 2 items on towards P, and Harsmed landing a great casting in a team fight. Other than that, it looks kind of doomed.
Yeah, if we're going to look at this game from a serious aspect, you look towards a P. Once that Yasuo gets the 2 items, they can become incredibly strong. I know we saw slightly earlier on in the split, I can't remember who did it. I want to say it was Glory or Yado, but they played a Yasuo. They almost got to the 0-10 power spike. As now we've got teleports coming into the mid lane. It's all of Saigon Buffalo onto 2 members of the fly. Yeah, will flash away and will ride the explosive cask out to safety, and the cumulative efforts of Saigon Buffalo will be ineffective in securing a kill for them.
That's basically all Saigon Buffalo could do this last minute. Like just a good teleport play from Harsmed with the cask, and just one flash and it's basically gone. P now also being low HP again can get maybe chased down by the side of Glory and Draxa. Ellie also in the flank, and they can go for it.
Rio just getting a 1v1 when there were 3 other members of Saigon Buffalo hovering around.
They just watched him murder him. This is the 6th death from Harsmed. He also had this flash up again. I think maybe flashing away for the Kali not the smartest choice, as she will catch you inevitably anyway. But Saigon Buffalo completely crumbling. I think they can also just get flanked here. Maybe if Elio fences his feet, but his quickness is down, so maybe he won't go for it. But after this T1 there will likely be a collapse. I would be surprised.
Requiem drop down. Shogun looking for the play. Gets low enough for the Requiem to secure the kill. And Saigon Buffalo will finally get a few kills after what feels like such a barren spell of no kills. Meanwhile, Dragthar gets a return kill onto P, so it's a 2-for-1 across the map.
Yeah, 2-for-1 across the map, and maybe it's not even over. Ryuk is very fed on this Akali. He could maybe just go for this play. Like, if he lands one shuriken, there's at least 1 kill coming out of him, I would assume. Look at Whipple's health bar. That was 70%. And it wasn't the full combo, right? Ignite is down, Perfect Execution is down, and he still just dies so quickly. We have seen Dragthar also, I mean, we haven't seen it, right? Because observers couldn't show it. P just dying in the side lane, tier 2 turret, bot lane also taken away, and map control, yet again, also faltering on the side of Saigon Buffalo. They are not really bleeding too much gold away to the side of Burst Sky, as they are at least getting like some shutdown kills, but that's basically all they're getting. I think it was just P disrespecting the Herald push and just fighting on the dying turret, a VCS classic to say the least. He went for this himself.
Yeah, he went for it himself, and well, he died. To be fair, right, we've currently got 16 kills at 19 minutes. This is not one of the bloodiest VCS games we've seen. It's just that whenever we get a kill, there's about 6 kills all happening at once. And then nothing, like 2 minutes.
Yeah, some kills and some silence and then some kills again. Now, yeah, Shogun, one of them. Dying to the Felt Desire, pretty easily done. By the side of LeBlanc, of course, also just out chunking them. Tier 1 to the mid lane finally falling. And the Infernal Drake should be on the table for the side of Mr. Sky. With Shogun being down, no chance to contest it. I wonder though if they maybe go for it anyway, because they aren't really seeing any land this game. All they got was basically some kills and like some turrets they could get as a trade-off. And Draxas in the flank, he definitely wants to fight this.
Hit by the Cosmic Binding, that will root him in a place where Burst the Sky will continue to aggress before backing away, and they realize, hey, there's a Drake up, let's go and take that.
Yeah, basically just taken for free for them. Baron, of course, spawning in 10 seconds, but there's no way in hell that Saigon Buffalo can tank this dragon, or even take it down before like some major upset happens from the side of Mr. Sky and them just walking towards it. I think they would take like half an hour to finish the Baron by now. And also not the greatest Baron takers, right? They have Misfortune at the AD carry. They have a tank top lane that actually does quite some damage to it, but it's just not enough. You would tank so much damage, you would get your business chat and couldn't fight anything. Now we see Taki being called on a recall, and with the Magical Journey he might escape, but Glowy deals a lot of damage.
Magical Journey is effective, but even more effective is Elio with the quickness. Grand Entrance comes through, and Dragthar will be able to pick up the kill. One going the way of Burst the Sky, and I think they've won more. Now they look over to Shogun. The grand entrance drop down again. It's a double kill for Dragthar. Surely he's going to fall. He's trying to get another soul, but he's unable to do so. 3 kills for 1 for Burst the Sky.
3 kills for 1. Not really clearly played with Dragthar giving away his shutdown, but they are still on the chase. They still can go for more, maybe. Not that they can take the Baron afterwards, but Rebel also now in trouble. He's ignited. And Ryuk should have his 5-point strike up soon.
Oh, misses the Shuriken flip. Ribble is so incredibly low. No perfect execution available. Barrel roll will not land onto Ryuk, which means that Ryuk will not fall from the Requiem.
Will not fall from the vacuum, and it's very important that Hazmat, despite being 0-6 in the Gragas, I have to give him some credit there, because he was really doing a good job of zoning away Ryuk in the aftermath. That he will see the fight again, though, with Taki immediately dying from his overextension as he was getting caught recalling, caught shopping, thought the magical journey was enough, but actually it's Mr. Sky taking away Taki's magical journey to go further here. And now it's actually the Viego taking the magical journey, because he was possessing Taki, Viego himself dying for it, but 2 more return kills coming out as both carries die, as the misfortune falls, the Yasuo as well. It's still, of course, very well for them, not cleanly played, but still a positive play for them, I would say. And the gold lead slowly extending a little bit. Ryuk is so fat in the Akali. I think he just needs to land a good shuriken and it will all be over for them. Taki now going for a play. But can they catch Glory? They can.
Yeah, Glory just being so incredibly greedy, trying to steal away the blue buff, doesn't manage it, and ends up dying for his attempted steal.
Yeah. Attempted steal coming out now, Glory. Showing that also he, despite being so mobile on LeBlanc, is still able to get caught out by that, which is kind of disappointing, because in this game that's kind of spoon-fed towards Mr. Sky, they are still kind of struggling against Saigon Buffalo. Very sad to see. And Hazmat getting his first kill of the game. I mean, he was 0-6, now at least he has 1 kill under the belt. Just also gives more gold, maybe, towards the side of Dragthar over Ryuk.
Well, Hazmat's going to fall, Dragthar gets the kill. Right, Quincy, I want to play a game. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, step 1, close your eyes.
Yeah.
What is the goal lead currently?
5k.
Close. It's actually, yeah, it's almost 5k. Ryuk went for a very aggressive play, and he will now fortify the Tempered Fate by have actually kept him alive. So it's probably a good thing that Tempered Fate didn't land, but Saigon Buffalo pull a kill back, and now they only trail by 3k gold, but that may all change. Dragthar going in for a play, looking for Ribble, and will be able to find the kill. Taki takes a magical journey, but is ignited. The hunt will come through. The Requiem being channeled, and all of a sudden, Saigon Buffalo turn it around. P has 2 items, P gets the double kill, and Saigon Buffalo win the fight.
And I just closed my eyes for like 20 seconds and the gold lead is cut in half. I don't know what happened because my eyes were closed, but maybe you can tell me.
Honestly, I don't know. This is just my new magic trick. I get my color caster to close their eyes, and then the state of the game just changes magically.
You know, without looking, I think they just gave our shutdowns. But here, actually, I see the play for the first time ever. You being carried on the Kali, trying to go for a style play, I guess, because taken up by the bullet time. He gets killed mid-air. He actually tries to go back in with the shuriken flip, gets killed. The Bard ultimate was almost saving them there. And then it's just Burst Escape chasing a lost play. They fight in towards the jungle of Saigon Buffalo and get killed one after the other. P with a great shutdown kill on towards, I think it was Dragthar, getting a lot of gold in his pockets back, and you can't really fight Yasuo well in these close skirmish areas. And with the Vacuum still hurting this a little bit, it was easy for Saigon Buffalo. They are behind, but they still kill you if you just walk into them without dealing the damage yourself.
He's forced out of this fight. That was a terrible Requiem by Taki. That accomplishes nothing. Ryuk in the backline, but now Elio and Ya showing up as well. Shogun will get the kill onto Ryuk. Ya taking so much damage. P is online on this Yasuo. It doesn't matter how far behind a Yasuo is. Once they get to 2 items, boy oh boy, the plays start happening. Grand exit away from Elio, but now P is changing his mind and saying, maybe I want to make a play onto Dragthar. I think that might be a bit too aggressive. Glory showing up, but the rest of Saigon Buffalo are here as well. The Heartbreaker comes through. P still alive. The Immortal Shield Bow is absolutely ludicrous. The Guardian Angel has been popped by Dragthar. He'll come out. The Requiem now being channeled. The shield is just about enough to keep Dragthar alive, but Taki is on the hunt. The smite will give Dragthar some more health as he's desperately trying to dash out to safety. The magical journey. P's gonna be able to get the kill. He heals off the minions, but it's not enough to keep him alive.
And then Sky chasing lost play after lost play. They fight without the carries, being also struggling to find impact in his team fight if he doesn't really land the first shuriken. And other than that, also Glowy wasn't even in this team fight to begin with. So versus Sky, they had the lead, but if they fight like this and just chase lost plays, it's not really working out for them. They use so much onto P, and he has stopwatch, he has shield boat to heal off. It's not that easy to kill anymore. And right now, Sky and Buffalo are right back in this game. Drugs are still down. Maybe even the Baron play could be done by them, as the rest of versus Sky is going towards the Hextech break instead, which will of course grant them the soul point. But is it really worth if you just drop now Baron against Saigon Buffalo, who will definitely gain some control back in this game? And despite being down so much, it was 5k gold before I closed my eyes. It's definitely now at least in a position where they can contest this, because Hasmet has items, P has some items now, one good cast, one good last breath, and versus Sky just dies.
We're talking about a 1k goal lead, only a 1k goal lead for Burst Sky. Wow.
Yeah, look at these people. They use so much onto Pierre, but he gets the last breath off, so he can link to another target and just dodge some skills immediately after that. Dragtar is just now permanently just running away, not really doing any damage. The vacuum doesn't even kill him off. He's kind of lucky that the more shield is enough to really save him there, and also does a smite onto the blue buff to get him more HP back. But P keeps chasing, uses the blue buff as a bridge, uses the magical journey, and then the minions as a bridge out, and also life stealing on the way out of that. So he just barely didn't survive there. He was very close to actually living there. And yeah, Saigon Buffalo definitely still fighting back. Or as I would say it, Burst the Sky, yeah, just fighting Burst the Sky right there.
Oh wow. Well, it must be a little bit tilting for Burst the Sky right now, having lost their lead. This is the equivalent of when you go into a Pokemon gym battle and you think you've won, and then all of a sudden the gym leader whips out like some super potion or something, and you're like, I didn't bring any potions to this battle. I thought it'd just be, you know, an easy cleanup, but then they pull off some dirty tactics. Saigon Buffalo, though, pushing in the mid lane. There's a wall of pain drop down to prevent Sky from engaging them.
Wall of pain drop down, and it's also a wall of pain for the side of Burst the Sky in general, right? I mean, they kind of hit the wall in the last two team fights, and we're just really struggling to accept that they have definitely thrown away some parts of the game. Baron now, of course, establishing some back control of them. P is by now level 16. I mean, he really has a high impact ultimate by now, and also Hasmet. He has been struggling, but at least he's only one level down against Ryuk, and Ryuk is the one who really carries the lead, and you really rather would have it on a more reliable damage carry like Ya is right now, who manages to survive without using Feather Storm. And now the TPs are coming in, so there will be a fight very soon, I would suppose, but both teams kind of do not feel like fighting right now, which is unlike the VCS.
For the first time this game, Saigon Buffalo have a goal lead. How they have managed to claw this game back, I don't know. Well, I do know. Sky have thrown it, but it's kind of insane nonetheless. Hasmed looking for that flank. Who does he want to throw the barrel on? There's a blade caller used. There's a feather. Oh, there is a bullet time used as well, but none of it will find any effect.
And I wonder if Burst the Sky can now re-engage, because with the cast being down, with bull time being down, also not a very good way to get the Yasuo ultimate in. So maybe there's like one angle to get like a good quickness into Featherstorm combo coming out of them. But the cooldowns are not down on side of Saigon Buffalo. There is like one way in. Glowy not trying to get the chains on, but he just almost dies himself.
Yeah, and Shogun will be able to survive Glory out of this fight, but look how low Hasmed is. The Featherstorm drop down. Draxar's going to be able to get the kill. Meanwhile, on the bottom of your screen is Rio trying to make a play on P, but P just takes no damage. Draxar's been able to get a double kill. Will he be able to steal the soul? He will indeed. The Requiem drop down, and Draxar will fall. The Requiem taking and Elio incredibly low as well. But overall, it's 2 kills for 1, with Saigon Buffalo coming out worse for wear, but P is chasing. Blasco will be able to get enough distance between the Lovers duo and the deadly Yasuo.
Dragtar got some kills, also got the reset onto the Carters, but that was maybe also the problem, because he got the reset onto the Carters. So he just takes over the Carters, so it is just super squishy himself all of a sudden in the midst of the enemy team, also just now then falling on his own. And with that, this fight still pretty close. We have seen, I think it was Glowy trying to solo kill P, and he just took no damage as you said, so that is also not really working out in the favor anymore. P now suddenly in a very good position to 1v1 anyone on the map, as he and the Yasuo is sitting on multiple items by now. What really is the win con for Sky, I would say, would be the Hextech Soul coming up in 1 minute, but are they really confident to fight this anymore is what I wonder, because Gragas you by now online. The card is also slowly but surely getting in some kills, and Shogun, no matter really how many kills he got, a good lethality MF ultimate would definitely whack anyone on the side of Mr. Sky, as their team composition is very, very squishy, aside from maybe Draktar. But here on the Viego, also not really a full tank, so he would still get heavily chunked by it.
Elio has to be careful. Draktar fishing for a play. Now, I've realized who P is. P is the equivalent of a Ditto. In game 1, he was Parquet. It wasn't a good game. Game 2 here, he is now Perks. He's channeling the Yasuo Perks from MSI. How big can it be? He has already been solid enough to bring Saigon Buffalo back into this game. Saigon Buffalo all grouping up. The explosive cask has been dropped down, all the while Ryuk splitting in the side lane. Burst Sky don't want to force a fight, they just want to draw out a stalemate and allow Ryuk to split push in the side lane.
Tempered definitely working out in their favor, but Tempered Fate catches them!
Tempered Fate, and it's going to be straight into the bullet time. You will buy time with a Feather Storm, and it's the Hextech Soul picked up for the side of Burst Sky. Saigon Buffalo now forced to retreat.
They are forced to retreat. I mean, the bullet time ironically was also helping Sky here, because it was actually leashing the Drake for them. There was no way to Whipple really to get in there. The Hextech Soul is proclaimed, and Burst Sky could win this fight.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a last breath, but never mind. Draxon's going to be able to steal the soul. It doesn't matter. It's a 1-for-1. Both junglers have fallen, and it is P who is so incredibly strong on this Yasuo. Saigon Buffalo just looking to push in the mid lane, and Sky are going to be forced to back. They're going to be forced to reset to their base to try to defend, but Saigon Buffalo are already on the inhibitor tower.
Will maybe drop an in there, but it's also very dangerous to play for Saigon Buffalo because Ryuk is so strong on his Akali right now. The Hextech Soul definitely helped. They just only get this inhibitor turret because they realized that they could really chase more in towards the side of Burst Sky's base. Otherwise, it would be very difficult to play against the flank that would be coming up. Lowy and Ryuk are still looking for picks, maybe, and Shogun might be in trouble, but he will actually get away. The resets are coming in for the side of Burst Sky, or the side of Saigon Buffalo. And maybe Burst Sky now fancies their feet and just goes for the Baron to just force the hand of Saigon Buffalo. And it works. Saigon Buffalo definitely feels threatened by it, but they are also all back up, so it can be a very even fight yet again.
And very quickly, Quincy, in this upcoming fight, who are we looking for both Saigon Buffalo and Burst Sky?
From the side of Saigon Buffalo, definitely look out for Hasmet and P, of course, with the Gragas Yasuo ultimate coming out, and maybe even Taki if he lets a good Tempered Fate to really prolong this huge area ultimate coming out for the side of Shogun. So I almost named basically every champion from them, except for the Carters. On the side of the Sky, Glowy really struggles to teamfight on this LeBlanc. I want him to land good chains on the backhand of it, or maybe even just go for a split push instead and just watch as Burst Sky would maybe stall the teamfight and just have one split pusher in the side lane, or maybe even two, with Ryuk also being able to do that. Inhibitor also being dropped in the bot lane means, of course, that Saigon Buffalo is kind of getting pincered here. They need to defend both the bottom lane super minions that would be coming in, but also still on the other side of the map would need to defend a potential Baron contest coming up for Burst Sky. So if Burst Sky plays this by the book, it should be their win.
Well, a tricky situation. Very little goal separating the two teams. Spectrum will cancel P's reset. You can see the little wings on top of that. Number 17, that implies that he has a Guardian's Angel. You have to kill P twice. It makes him double the menace, just like Team Rocket. Draktar slowed by the Wall of Pain. Be having a think about making an engager now that the super minions in the bottom lane are pushing. Burst Sky once again look towards the Baron Nashor, but this time Hasmed has no teleport.
Hasmet has no teleport, and the Hextech Storm really just make it easy.
Ryuk chases, but the last breath comes through, and now Ryuk is forced out of the fight. Shogun on half health flashes into the Raptor pit and out to safety. Shuriken flip, did it land from Ryuk, as now the quickness has been dropped down. Elio out of this fight. Draktar's going to be able to get the kill onto Shogun, but can P turn it around? It is a 1-for-1 so far. ADC for mid, Ribble forces Ryuk dives back in. Taki and Hasmed, P already out of this fight, trying to heal off some minions, but Draktar is just stealing soul after soul after soul, and there is nothing that Hasmed will be able to do about it.
The minions are ending.
On the run, and P is desperately trying to find a way to reset. Draktar is onto the Nexus towers, and Hasmed is desperately trying to defend, and he will be able to get 2 kills. But is that all? Hasmed just buying time so effectively, waiting for P to get here. Hasmed is going to be able to cancel the Hextech Gate, but Draktar will steal the soul and will take the Hex Tech Gate nonetheless.
Such a huge risky play coming up from this guy, just going immediately for the backboard, immediately going for the fight. And you have seen how much Chloe really struggle in this fight, because as an assassin, they can't really play them out cleanly. Despite the exact soul, it's not easy to play for them. Luckily for them, they get the kill onto Shogun pretty early on. You see Ryuk already being chunked. The exhaust also doing him not really a favor. Chloe also dropped down super low in the skirmish already. And here we see Dragstar going in with the Herald Path on towards Shogun, and the Spectral Maw really killing him pretty instantly. Requiem also dealing a lot of damage towards the side of Burst the Sky, and with the super minions pushing in the bot lane, Dragstar just immediately goes for the finish and tells his team just stop their bases. And while stopping their bases, unfortunately, 2 of them got killed by the side of P and the Yasuo as the bot lane from Burst the Sky falls, and ultimately it just results in the Nexus turret being taken down and Dragstar getting some more kills, but no team really being in a position to fight this Baron or even take this Baron away from the map.
When you look at Burst the Sky, they've got so much backline access. Ryuk, Dragstar, Glory. It's so hard for Saigon Buffalo to be able to peel that. And we're consistently seeing 2 separate fights going on. Sky on the backline of Saigon Buffalo and P trying to 1v5 this game.
And I think Burst the Sky is pretty okay with the situation so far, because this one Nexus turret is like the ultimate thing that fell and that will never come back again in this game. And one Nexus turret alone would not be able to defend the base push coming out from the super minions who are still pushing in towards the bot lane of Saigon Buffalo. So Saigon Buffalo likely has to at some point just defend this and drop the Baron, but here's a fight.
And Dragstar is already out of this fight. The Guardian Angel has been popped. Burst the Sky are trying to take the Baron, but is it worth it? Because you've just lost your jungler. Ryuk, I think, is trying to get to the bottom lane, trying to be able to push with this minion wave. And then we might even have a base race as Burst the Sky, Elio, and Yes still on the Baron. They're going to be able to secure this uncontested, but Saigon Buffalo are pushing in as far into the mid lane.
This record
be at least an inhibitor going their way.
Definitely will be an inhibitor, but the Baron recalls will establish it that Burst the Sky can at least recall their own when they can easily wave clear with the Hextech still coming out. And Ripple just immediately dies, or not so much. He barely survives.
Barely survives, but alive nonetheless. Almost actually dies to that redemption drop. And now there's an Elder Drake in 10 seconds. Ribble has some health. This is going to be a 5v4 for the Elder. This could be the turning point in the game. A game that has been so close for so long.
Sky is both Baron buff and the Hextech, so they really tease it's the last 10 or so of Buffalo.
They're rushing this and they're not going to be able to steal it away. Elio drops down the quickness. Tempered Fate dropped down as well. Harsmid is here. Glory going in, and Glory will be able to find 1 kill onto Ribbon. Ribble, Saigon Buffalo on the run as the Requiem dropped down, and overall it is a 1-for-1. Saigon Buffalo will retreat, but they have 4 members with the Elder buff.
Luckily for Saigon Buffalo, they at least get this Elder Drake done. They really were banking on the fact that Dragstar wouldn't be there in time because he was dying early in this skirmish, where I would need to criticize him even further for, because it was already working in the favor of Burst the Sky. The super minions were pushing on towards potentially only 1 Nexus turret on the side of Saigon Buffalo, and the Baron could have been forced by Burst the Sky, as it also happened. But Dragstar being caught for no reason at all was really detrimental there. Dragstar not really being here in time, I think. And the Elder, of course, being easily smote away by the side of Ribble. It is Elder taking away against a 1-for-1, definitely worth for them, because it's Elder. It's also denying the Elder from Burst the Sky, who would then have all big free buff they could have, the Soul, the Elder, and the Baron. And this just keeps Saigon Buffalo within this game. However, with Elder expiring at some point, there would still be the Hextech Soul on the side of Burst the Sky, but at least they can wait out the Baron time coming out, and that is what they ultimately were looking for.
I'm guessing most players are now hitting full build. Ribble actually still hasn't got it. If he gets that Rabadon's death cap, when he gets that Rabadon's death cap, this Karthus is going to be hitting so hard. And when you look at these team fights, Saigon Buffalo, they have that Karthus late game. They have this beautiful wombo combo from the Yasuo Gragas at their disposal.
They definitely do, and also the inhibitor respawn. So now this pressure is really off on the side of Burst the Sky to just get this free side lane push on the other side of the map, as a Baron would be. So that's also playing in the favor of Saigon Buffalo, and the team fights cannot be forced as easily on the side of Burst the Sky, or even the favorable team fights could be. And in this straight up 5v5, we have seen it time and time again. By now, Saigon Buffalo is clearly favored in them, because they don't really have these assassins big as the Akali, as the LeBlanc would be, and the Karthus and the Gragas Yasuo combination have a very easy way to get in, and like the bullet time combination is also not that hard to play. So Burst the Sky really played themselves in a very rough situation, and with the gold being about even by now, I mean the 2k gold really not doing anything at the 40-minute mark, the Hextech Soul alone is not what really makes a difference in the team fights.
Twitch chat, are you not entertained right now? Burst the Sky and Saigon Buffalo going toe to toe in, well, their final game of regular season. The Tempered Fate landing onto Ryuk. The bullet time dropped down, but Ryuk goes golden. Extra stasis. And the Shuriken Flip will be able to take him out to safety, but Saigon Buffalo aren't done yet. They will continue to chase, but the rest of Burst Sky make their way down, and Saigon Buffalo will retreat.
And top for that was really bad because it's 2 ultimates against just some Akali ultimates, or Akali spells, more to say, because the ultimate is still available for the side of Ryuk, and it might just result in a base push because Ryuk has indeed dropped low, and Super Minions are also pushing against the side of Burst Sky by now, so it's at least one turret falling, the minion wave not really being that small, and I wonder if they can be wave with the exact soul, and some fellas they can apparently. Lowy can proc the Banshee's wave from Hasmet, but there's a TP flag coming out, so maybe this is the last time for Burst Sky.
Yeah, well, the body will come through. Last breath, and that is Ryuk falling already. Saigon Buffalo now in a 5v4. The Elder has already ended, but P looking to go in. He's going to be able to find Glory. Takes him incredibly low, and P is not dead yet. Goes back onto Glory, but that is only the Mimic. Drakthar going in onto the backline. Going to be able to find the kill onto Taki. Steals away the soul. Takes the magical journey, and will be able to kill P, but it is only the Guardian Angel. Glory distorting his way out to safety and going back onto P. P has fallen. The Yasuo is down, and Saigon Buffalo are on the back foot. For Burst Sky, they get 3 kills for 1.
They get 3 kills for 1, and Drakthar just keeps on chasing, and he's the one who was really winning this fight for them, because he on the Vega was somehow getting a reset off, and then just created so much chaos that Saigon Buffalo had to deal with. The fight, in general, really easier to play out for them, but if they catch Shogun here, they might just go for something like a huge push. They are ignoring their own Super Minions come pushing into their base, and also dropping Nexus turrets, so this is Burst Sky just now base raising the minions and just trying to finish the game.
Big death time is 60 seconds for Shogun. Taki up in a couple of seconds time. Ryuk backing will be able to keep that final Nexus Tower alive. Hasmed in 20 seconds. I think this might be over for Saigon Buffalo. I think this might be the 2-0 for Burst Sky in their final game of regular season. The Requiem dropped down, but Glory stays alive. Glory will end up falling. The Tempered Fate buying us some time, but is it enough as Ribble comes in? It's 3 of Sky on the Nexus, and they are just focusing on the Nexus, and they will be able to secure a Burst Sky, take the 2-0.
Burst Sky in the mid game not really looking like they wanted to win this game, but Drakthar definitely did want to win this game, really showing off